Obi-Wan Kenobi had underestimated the destructive power of the anger and hatred that consumed Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar. When the young Skywalker, now almost unrecognizable as Darth Vader, was defeated and left at the mercy of the flames, it seemed that his fate was sealed. However, in a moment of compassion and perhaps even hope, Obi-Wan could not abandon him to certain death. Against all odds, he decided to save his former apprentice, using the Force to push back the flames and pull Anakin out of that inferno. Although deeply wounded and on the brink of death, Anakin was still breathing, a sign that his journey, however tortuous, had not yet come to an end. While Obi-Wan struggled to keep Anakin alive, Emperor Palpatine arrived on Mustafar, guided by the trail of darkness that enveloped the planet. A confrontation between Palpatine and Obi-Wan was inevitable. The duel was fierce, with Palpatine's dark power proving superior. Despite his skill, Obi-Wan was defeated and seriously wounded. In a desperate act of sacrifice, he used what was left of his life force to partially heal Anakin, ensuring that he would survive a little longer. Obi-Wan's hope was simple: to give the young Skywalker a second chance, in the hope that he could redeem himself and eventually bring balance to the Force. With Anakin partially recovered, Obi-Wan had to act quickly. He hid Anakin's weakened body in a safe place while Palpatine captured Padme, who was unconscious. Obi-Wan's mission was clear: to prevent Palpatine from using the newborns for his own dark purposes. However, before he could come up with a plan, the Jedi was forced to confront Palpatine once again. The result was devastating. Obi-Wan was brutally defeated, but even weakened, Anakin sensed the danger. Connecting with the Force, he managed to pull Obi-Wan away from the imminent danger, saving him from certain death. Yoda, sensing the disturbance in the Force, found Obi-Wan and Anakin, and quickly took them to a hidden Jedi outpost on Tempest. This was a forgotten refuge, known only to a few members of the ancient Jedi Order. There, both Obi-Wan and Anakin received advanced medical care, including the installation of cybernetic suits that allowed them both to survive and continue fighting. The situation was critical, but there was new hope. The two warriors now had a second chance to face Palpatine, this time more prepared. During their recovery, Obi-Wan and Anakin began rigorous training, focused on overcoming their shortcomings and preparing for the final battle against Palpatine. Yoda, who had never lost faith in redemption, guided them through the Force, teaching techniques that combined the ancient knowledge of the Jedi with a new understanding of the necessary balance between the light and dark sides. Both warriors, strengthened physically and spiritually, were determined to defeat the Emperor and restore peace to the galaxy. However, they knew that the path would be arduous and full of sacrifices. Guided by the Force, Obi-Wan and Anakin finally met with Yoda, who encouraged them to trust their instincts and their deep connection as former master and apprentice. Their journey would take them to Coruscant, the heart of the Empire, where Palpatine held sway. With the mission clear in their minds, they traveled to the Imperial capital, determined to confront the Sith Lord and put an end to his reign of terror. On Coruscant, Obi-Wan and Anakin faced the Inquisitors, dark warriors trained by Palpatine to hunt down remaining Jedi. The battle was intense, but the combination of their newly acquired training and the ruthless determination of the two Jedi prevailed. One by one, the Inquisitors fell, leaving the way clear for Obi-Wan and Anakin to confront the Emperor. But victory had its price. Each battle brought them closer to the final confrontation, and the risks were immense. When they finally found Palpatine, he wasn't alone. Padme, along with her newborn children, Luke and Leia, were under the Emperor's control. The tension in the air was palpable. The fate of the galaxy was at stake. The lightsaber duel that followed was epic, with Obi-Wan and Anakin joining forces against Palpatine's overwhelming power. The fight symbolized not only the battle between good and evil, but also Anakin's inner conflict, torn between the darkness that had once consumed him and the light he now sought. At the crucial moment of the battle, Anakin finally made his choice. In one devastating blow, he managed to defeat Palpatine, but not without suffering serious injuries. Knowing that his end was near, Anakin looked at Obi-Wan, an expression of peace finally present on his face. His redemption was complete, but at a high cost. With his last strength, Anakin asked Obi Wan to protect Padme and their children, ensuring that they would grow up in a world free from the Emperor's dark control. Obi Wan, devastated by the loss of his friend, used the Force to create a shield around Padme and the children, protecting them from the explosion resulting from Palpatine's death. With the Empire weakened and without leadership, its fall became inevitable. The rebellion, which until then had been fighting a seemingly invincible enemy, finally had the upper hand. Amid the chaos, a new era began to emerge. With the end of the Empire, Padme took on the role of Chancellor of the New Republic, committed to restoring peace and justice to the galaxy. Under her leadership, the Republic began to heal the wounds left by Palpatine's oppressive regime. Meanwhile, the Force ghosts of Obi Wan and Anakin, now at peace, began to guide Luke and Leia, the future guardians of the Jedi Order, teaching them how to use the Force to protect the balance in the galaxy. The galaxy, finally free of the Empire's domination, began to rebuild itself, guided by the principles of justice and freedom. The flame of the Jedi, which had almost been extinguished, was reborn, ready to light a new path for future generations.